Our Lord in today's gospel reading is using a little parable by means of a lamp or a source of light. Now recall that we say that Christ is the light of the world, and he has come into this world to dispel the darkness of sin and ignorance. Those of you who attend the Easter Vigil, if you recall, we light the Paschal candle, which symbolizes Christ, and from that Paschal candle, at one point in the ceremony, everybody's candle in the church is lit. And what that symbolizes is that the light of Christ, or Christ himself, comes into the souls of every believer, every person who is in a state of grace. And so every person shines with the light of Christ. Now, it is true that the closer we are to God, the greater our union with him is, the more fully he's present within us and the more greatly he will shine through us. So this light of Christ is given to us, yes, for our benefit, but not just for our own benefit. You see, Christ wants us to shine upon others. And so his gift of himself is not just for our own salvation, but for the salvation of everyone. And you see, each one of us has an important role to play in regards to this. And, you know, it's been pointed out by various scriptural authors that God has a specific plan for each one of you. And according to his plan, no one else could do what he is calling you to do. No one else could have the kind of influence on the people around you that you are able to have. Now, it is true we can have an influence of good or an influence of bad or a combination of both, which is probably what most of us do. Sometimes we lose our cool, so we give a bad influence, but ideally we're giving a good influence, not a bad influence. So this light of Christ, we are the light of Christ, and God has illuminated us not just for our own benefit, but so that we can shine that light upon everyone else. And how do we do this? You know, some people say, oh, well, you know, some individuals, they're just so outgoing and they're just so joyful. And, you know, that might be part of their personality trait. It might also be because they are full of zeal for God. But a lot of it has to do with manifesting goodness, manifesting generosity, being kind, being generous, being quick to forgive. In other words, if we manifest these traits, being patient, you know, being understanding, if we manifest these traits, we stick out. So there's two aspects to being a light. And, you know, if we look at this gospel passage in the parable that our Lord gives us, part of it is don't hide your faith. So in other words, be open about your faith. Be willing to share your faith. That's one aspect of the parable. But the other aspect of the parable is you are called to be a light. So it's not just not hiding your faith, but also making the effort to shine more radiantly upon those around you. And like I said, by being charitable, being kind, all these things. So manifesting genuine virtue, genuine goodness, genuine charity. When people see that, they will be impressed and they will be more likely to come close to us. Now, notice how our Lord also says, the measure you give will be the measure you get. So in other words, the more we make the effort to manifest our faith in public, the more we will receive as a compensation from God. And so those who want to hide their faith or who don't manifest their faith at all, they have very little faith. It takes greater faith to manifest your faith publicly. A lot of people are embarrassed or shy or lacking in courage. Well, obviously they're not on fire with the love of God. They're not on fire with the love of their fellow human beings. So to manifest our faith publicly requires greater faith, greater confidence, greater courage, and trust in God. So let us look for those opportunities to manifest our faith to those around us, our family members, but also to everyone in the public sphere also.